I almost dropped this anime after watching that horrible first episode. And I could say that the first half of the first episode was okay. Wasn't all that boring, but wasn't all that interesting. It was just okay. But as soon as the main character was invited for a competition where she had to beat a game, a virtual reality game, where a lot of different streamers were invited, I lost all interest because as soon as she entered the game, it changed to this very ugly art style that I did not like at all. I mean, you could say that from a technical standpoint, you could say that the art style is impressive, but visually, no. Visually, it's disgusting. And after watching that, thought to myself, okay, I'm going to give the second episode a chance. But if they use again that awful art style, I'm dropping it. And luckily, they never use it again. So I just decided, okay, I'm just continue watching all the way to episode 12, where this anime, the story takes a dark turn because it turns out that this competition was hosted by some ancient alien gods, where the anime does a very shoehorn in explanation how do these ancient gods, how do they exist, how they were created. To me, it did not make a sense, but I just simply write it off as ancient alien gods and continue watching, where it turns out that if all of the participants do not clear a series of game, humanity is killed and the planet destroyed. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that all of them have to clear the game every time, as long as simply one person reaches the goal all the way up till the end, well, humanity is safe. But for those participants that are loses along the way, well, they are deleted, and in a very creepy fashion, because it's not necessarily that okay, if you lose in the virtual world, you die in the real world. It's not like that, because in a from technically, the they are still alive. They still have their vital signs. They still have a brain activity, but it's like their brains are completely broken, so you could say that they are reduced to a vegetated state where they're pretty much dead. You're pretty much dead at that point. So the characters have to pretty much participate in order to save humanity. But not all of them are doing it for noble reasons. Some of them are just in it for the prize, because each time that you clear a game, you receive some either money, or you can accumulate points to affect is in some way or form the real world. Uh, I that so let's say that you have some enemies, have a certain goal that you want to do, a mistake from the past that you want to undo. Each character has a different goal in mind, and not all of them wholly. But our main character whole goal is simply to save her sister, because her sister has been in a coma for quite a while, so she needs the money in order to pay the hospital bills. And it turns out that these ancient gods, in some way, have to do with the reason why her sister is in a vegetative state, in a coma. So, out of all the characters that were shown, I could say that there are only two that, well, let me say, yes, two that really say that I can really say that capture my interest and I consider my favorites. but I'm only going to talk about one of them, and that being Kana. Now, Kana, she has has a very interesting personality, has character growth, has a very tragic backstory, but you can see how she grows throughout the episode. But she is my favorite out of all the characters. But sadly, one of them that is not my favorite is, well, the main character. The main character, Miko, sorry, Miku. No, I think I said it right, Miko. Miko is just not all that interesting of a main character. The majority of her personality is just simply screaming.
てめえらどこまで人間をコケにすれば撃てるお前たちか今までずいぶんコケにしてくれたなそれも今日で終わりだかかってこいや邪神ども
And the other 10% is just simply she being punching, getting into fights, punching. So she is not that interesting of a main character. And one thing that I also want to talk about before ending this video is about the games themselves. The games that are presented throughout the episode, the games themselves are interesting. They did this anime, the writers did put some thought about the games and how to clear them, how to make it tough but fair. But some of them I call bullshit because there is no way that the side of the humans are supposed to have cleared that game. It's like the writers bend themselves backwards in different ways, forming a pretzel in order to make the humans wins because the ancient alien gods are about to win. They have all the cards on their table, and just either the gods gets all cocky and decides to, for some reason, give the humans a leg up in order for them to win, or one of them where there was a betrayal from one of the gods that happened off screen, and even in the last game where a character appears out of nowhere in order for the humans to win, and even that was brought by attention, and you could say a fourth wall break from the main character saying, where did you came from? You just appear out of nowhere and try to save the day or something like that. I just call bullshit. So after watching all 12 episodes of this anime, the best that I can give this anime is a 5 out of 10. The the horrible animation that they used in the first episode, the writers abandoning themselves backwards in order to make the human wins. If it wasn't some plot points appearing off screen, I cannot recommend this anime. It's just okay. I mean, if you are somebody that likes wacky Japanese game show, and if you're somebody that likes the Netflix Squid Game, you might find this anime very mildly interesting, but obviously it's not at the same level. So that's all that I have to say for today. So have a good day, have a good night, wherever you're from, and see you next video.